The Supreme Court also upheld Texas's age website verification laws for going on adult websites. As a parent, what are your thoughts about that?
Listen, I think it's a lovely idea, but I also know that
Mm.
anybody can get an ID. Well, except for Black people. I'm sorry. Remember, Black people can't get IDs.
Yeah.
We can't have that because they can't vote, and now they can't look at porn, which totally sucks for them. Listen, what I think we need to, this boils down to, is we need to talk about educating instead of restricting. I think the average American consumer of porn needs to know that it increases sexual aggression, it harms your sexual function, and it increases marital infidelity by 300%. Looking at porn actually alters your brain function and doesn't allow you to have those meaningful relationships with people. I think that's what we need to be doing. We need to be talking to people about the negative side effects of porn instead of encouraging this just free sex for all body count that we currently have in the United States of America.
Kendall, that was a very serious diatribe that you went on that I totally agree with, but also the funniest joke that I think I've heard on this show so far. Those poor Black people that can't get IDs also can't watch porn now. Oh no.
I know the
Um,
tragedy.
Mike, here's what I'm curious about this, right? All for the law. My concern is how do you enforce it? I genuinely don't know. Are there kind of like technical ramifications that maybe concern you of like how to actually do this sort of thing, get around it? Like, is that how doable is this, despite the fact that we like the actual outcome of it?
Well, I think the Congressional Black Caucus, rather, is going to hold a press conference tomorrow in response to what Kendall is saying and say this is an absolute outrage. How are our people going to get equal access to adult entertainment? I think they might take that on in regards to that and a litany of other things. But I mean, obviously, unfortunately, the reality is that I think that people will try to get around it. And I think that it all speaks to a bigger conversation that we need to have about America being dragged into this degenerate mindset where people's lives aren't that valuable. They have a low self-worth. They don't feel like they need to go get a job or start a family or have any type of sense of commitment. So they get these cheap fixes. Okay. They get food stamps to eat. They get subsidized Section 8 housing. And then they go on the internet and they find pirated porn for their pleasure. So it really is a sad state of affairs. And it speaks to a larger overarching problem that whether it's Republican or Democrat, no matter what state you're in, the leftists have been successful, largely, unfortunately, in degenerizing our society, our children.
Mhm.
And there's going to need to be a big movement over. I don't think it's going to take 1 year. It might take 2, 3, or 4 or 5 to shift the culture back to what we all know it should be.
Yeah, this really is a big cultural issue masquerading as a legal issue. And by the way, I feel like I should just point out, in case this is going over people's head, we're all making fun of the idea that libs say that, well, requiring an ID is bad for Black people because they can't get IDs. That's ridiculous. Of course, every American can get an ID if they so choose, and therefore vote and do all of the things that you would need with that ID.